Breaking up is hard. At least for me, it is, or always has been. I'm more of a hold on to the last minute kind of person. I am not very good at knowing when it's time to let go. And, well, I guess because of that, I've never been the initiator to any breakups. I'm always the one being broken up with, which I suppose, I don't think it's easy either way. I think both sides is going to be difficult, especially if you truly love the person that you're with. It's going to be hard to let them go, even if it is the best course of action, because to be honest, a lot of the time breaking up is necessary. A lot of the time you gotta just let it go. It's not worth the trouble. It's not worth the stress. It's not worth whatever it might be. There's a lot of reasons as to why you could break up with somebody. Maybe you just drifted apart. Things aren't the way they used to be, and you're different people now, and you just grow apart. You gotta split up because you're just not in love anymore. Or sometimes it can be a lot worse, and it can be like cheating or just fighting constantly or just toxic behaviors in general. One of my best friends was in a horribly toxic relationship to the point of physical violence when they were fighting, and you could tell that boy a million times that he needs to break up with that girl. And he says, no, things are going to be different this time. Things are going to work out this time. It'll be better this time, whatever. And it's not true. I can't speak for every relationship, but 9 times out of 10, it's not true. Things don't get better, they only get worse. Especially if you are the one being abused or manipulated, it just gets worse. They know what you can take and what you will put up with, and they will just take advantage of that. And there's nothing right about that, honestly. It pains me knowing that there's people out there like that. I've never been, at least I've never I I don't think I've ever been a manipulative, toxic person. I've always tried not to be, which is a weird thing to say, but I feel like there's maybe been times that I've done just I don't know the right way to put it. Not really been toxic on purpose, but I've definitely I don't know. I have a way with words sometimes that comes off a little manipulative, is what I've been told. But I've never been purposefully manipulative. I don't like to be manipulative. I don't like being a bad person. I don't like to do bad things. I don't like making people feel bad, especially not if I'm in a relationship with somebody. That's the last thing I want to do. If we're in love, we're in love. Why would I ever want to hurt you? And I've come to realize through my 20 some years of living that not everybody feels that way. And some people just like to cause pain, or maybe they don't even like to cause pain, but they just do it. They just hurt people. And that's messed up, honestly. I know I've heard it a million times before in the past that hurt people, which is very true. A person who is hurting does definitely, oh my god, definitely has a tendency to hurt others. It's just kind of how it goes, you get your heart broken. I don't say you're destined to break somebody else's heart, but it's pretty likely that it's gonna happen because, especially depending on what that person did to you, you might just have trust issues. You might, there's all kinds of things that could happen. There's all kinds of reasons as to why you might go on to hurt somebody. Truly, trust issues are not fun. It sucks not being able to trust somebody, or anybody for that matter. And usually, if you can't trust somebody that you're dating, you're not gonna last very long, because trust is the foundation of a relationship, or one of many foundations of a relationship is trusting, and trusting the person that you're with, trusting them not to hurt you, and etc. It's an important part of a relationship, is what I'm trying to say, which is very obvious, but it sucks, dude. It sucks getting hurt, getting broke up with. It sucks. And some people are a lot stronger than me, and they can deal with a breakup, and they can just go on and be fine. And that's like I said, there's a lot of reasons why you could break up. If you drift apart, yeah, it's gonna be sad, but it's probably not gonna hurt as much as if you think everything is great and then you find out that they're doing things behind your back or something like that, you know, that's gonna hurt a lot. It's a stab in the back. That's gonna hurt a lot more than a mutual agreement to split up. And I don't know. I'm not good at mutual agreements to split up. I'm a sensitive person. I get hurt or I will be hurt, whether it was for the better or not. I get to be an emotional wreck. I will not leave my room. I will stay and I will cry and I will be sad and depressed and angry. I mean, shit, the last time that I went through a really bad heartbreak, I was ready to fight some people. I was ready to break some windows, graffiti some houses, throw some eggs. Like I was ready for violence, you know? I was not accepting. I'm not good at moving on. I'm trying to get better. I feel like I've gotten better in my older years, but I mean, shit. When I was in fourth grade, I got broken up with for the first time, and it was not a serious relationship. I mean, let's be honest. I was probably like 10 years old, fourth grade. It was not a serious relationship, but to me, it was everything. I've always been an emotional person. I've always been a lover, not a fighter. And so, that wrecked my heart. My little fourth grader heart was shattered into pieces and stomped on. And I thought that was it for me. I wrote off love for the rest of my life from fourth grade. And well, it didn't last very long, obviously. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be making this video. But I just am an emotional person. I don't let go very easily. I don't give up very easily. I will fight until my last breath. If I believe that it's worth fighting for, I'm gonna put everything I can in it. I'm not gonna let you go. If I think we're meant to be, I'm not letting you go. And maybe that's a little toxic, to be honest, because you know you gotta know when. I've literally made a video about you gotta know when to let go. You gotta know when to give up, give in. So I kind of just need to take my own advice in that aspect, but it's hard. It's hard to let go, especially I guess longer relationships seem to be harder in my experiences. The longer it goes on, the harder it can be to let go. And I mean, on the flip side, the longer it goes on, the easier it can be to let go because just, you might know it. You might know it's coming before it comes. You might have that gut feeling of this isn't going to last or whatever the case might be, that you just know that bad is on the horizon or that your time is coming to an end. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with breaking up. There's nothing wrong with moving on. If you're not meant to be, you're not meant to be. Life is long. There's lots of people, lots of fish in the sea, to be extra cliche. But it is true. There are millions, billions of people out there. You should not feel like you have to stay with that person for any reason at all. It doesn't matter. If you don't feel respected or loved or appreciated, or you're not getting what you think you need or want out of a relationship, you shouldn't be in that relationship. You should let that person go. I'm not here to tell you to go break up or anything of that sort, but well, if you're in an abusive, toxic relationship or you're not being provided for the ways that you need or desire, then I am here to say break up with that person. Let that person go, move on, find somebody better. It's gonna hurt, it's gonna suck, you're gonna be sad, you might be angry, but it's worth it in the long run. I promise you. I promise you it's worth it. There will be somebody out there better for you. There will be somebody out there who cares about you and will do everything you want from them and more. There will be, and it might take a while. You might not believe it. You might feel like you're destined to be forever alone. I know that's how I felt for a long, long time. Why did I do this to myself? That's how I felt for a long, long time. I wrote love off. I said, it's not for me. I'm a loser. I'm a nobody. Nobody's gonna love me. Nobody's gonna care about me. Just my parents. And that's not true. There's been lots of people that have come and loved me and lots of people that have left me, and that's okay. That's the way life goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles. You can't force somebody to stay forever. It's not realistic. It's not gonna happen. Well, It might happen. You might hit the jackpot. You might find the perfect person who's going to just love you forever and ever, and you'll never have to split, you'll never have to break up. You'll probably fight. I think fighting is kind of a given in a relationship, but it might be perfect for a long time. It might be perfect forever. You might just hit the jackpot and find somebody who gets you in every way and cares about you in every way and just is that person, you know? Most likely not gonna happen. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but relationships are hard and people are mean and evil, and you should love people anyways, but people do some really messed up things. People do some really just just I don't know. I can't really say bad people or bad things because like I said before, hurt people hurt people. It's just the way it goes most times is you got problems of your own that you're not dealing with or you're not processing or whatever it might be, and you are just going to end up hurting somebody because of that, because you can't deal with your issues or your problems. I mentioned trust issues earlier. That's a big one. Trust issues will destroy your relationship. If you don't have trust in your partner, you don't really have much, in my opinion. You have to trust your partner. You have to trust them. I mean, it's kind of what a relationship is you're trusting them to take care of you. You're trusting them not to break your heart. At least that's what it's always been for me. Granted, I've always had a bit of a skewed view on relationships because I've never really had healthy relationships to look up to. My parents were divorced since I can remember, and they always kept it under wraps. They always kept it real pleasant. But as I got older, I realized, well, not even realized, but I was told the truth behind my parents splitting. And let me tell you, it was not a mutual agreement. It was very angry and very fight filled. And the friends that I've had, toxic relationships. I mentioned my one friend who was in a very abusive, like physically abusive relationship. Like they were pulling knives on each other and crazy stuff like that. Like it was bad. It was real bad. And even before that, other relationships with that same person was the same kind of thing where it was just bad. It was just bad love. Bad for him, bad for her, bad for everyone involved. And you can only do so much to help. I kind of just had to sit on the sidelines and let him just hurt, and not even hurt because he enjoyed it in the not a disgusting way, but like he loved the toxicity, he loved the fighting, he loved the sadness and the anger and the emotions. And well, honestly, my friend's just a freak, but it's besides the point. The point is, love is tough. Love can hurt. Breakups are extremely difficult. Again, speaking back to the same friend, is even when they finally split, their violence finally came to an end. Their fighting finally came to an end. He was so sad about it all the time. He was so depressed, and understandably. I mean, you're giving your everything to somebody else. You're putting all this effort and all this time and all this work into a relationship in hopes that you're going to make something out of it. Whoa. And it doesn't always work out. It's just how it goes. It's the way, as I said before, it's the way the cookie crumbles. It's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to work out the way that you hope for it. And there's nothing that you can do about it. I mean, you can try your very hardest to salvage what is left, but sometimes when a relationship is over, it's over, and you just have to learn to accept that and learn to let go. I know I mentioned that before, and I mentioned how bad I am at it, but I mean, it's valuable. It's important. It's important to know when things are coming to a close. It's important to know, and I'm not saying like you should be in a relationship looking and paying attention to. It's the wrong way to put it, but I'm not saying to search for reasons to let that person go. If you're searching for reasons to break up with somebody, you definitely need to just pull the plug. You don't need a justified reason, because that's just messed up. You should only stay and be with somebody if you truly love and care about them. And I say that from experience and being on the outside of that. My mom has been in a lot of abusive relationships throughout my life and throughout my childhood, and it's, it's awful. It's awful to see, it's awful to be in. It's just bad all around, and it might feel like love. The pain might feel like love, and there might be some benefits. I know in my mom's situation, he was rich, he was loaded, he could buy her anything and everything he wanted. They were taking vacations to fucking anywhere, everywhere, out of state, out of town, out of the country. But on the flip side, he was also beating her up and cheating on her and just an all around terrible person. So it's like, was it really worth it? Is the pain that you're going through and the suffering that you're putting up with worth what you're getting in return? Like, yeah, sure, he's loaded and he's willing to spend on you, but is it worth that money if it leaves you with a black eye? And I was too young to realize what was going on for a lot of the situations, but I grew up to it. I grew up in, well, I guess it was shared to me from her as I got older. And I mean, sometimes things were just a little obvious. Like I said, a black eye is a little questionable, and there's not much you can say that's gonna convince me otherwise. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is just talking about how much breakups suck, and, well, less so about how much they suck, more so about it's okay to break up. It's okay to split apart. It's okay to move on, go on with your life, whether it was mutual, toxic, whatever, it doesn't matter. Breakups are bound to happen. It's a way of, I wouldn't say it's a way of life, but it just happens. It just does. It's not something that you can control. It's not something that you can, you know, like I said, you can do everything in your power to make it work and fight for that person. And sometimes things just aren't meant to be, and you just gotta learn to be okay with that. It'll hurt. It'll suck. I said that before, but it'll be fine in time. I know, very cliche, but truly, time does heal all wounds, and things don't always suck forever. All that stress, all that pain, anything and everything will fade as you get older, as time goes on. Those memories will always be there, you know? And that's probably, at least in my cases, the hardest part of letting go is all those memories, all that time spent is just gone, like it was never there. And that sucks to deal with, and that sucks to have to sit and think about, and just, it's not fun. And there's all kinds of things you can do to distract yourself. I will once again mention my same friend that I've been talking about, because what a character he is. But his outlet when he was at his worst after his breakups is just drinking. And that is a horrible, horrible, horrible outlet. You should never turn to a substance to help you get over your problems. And I'm saying that as somebody who does continually to this day turn to substances to help me over my problems. I have a better grip on it now than I used to. I used to be more in line with him, where it was like, I don't want to think, so I'm just going to get blackout drunk so I don't have to think. And then you realize that you are still thinking about all those things. You just get really drunk and really sad, and then you feel even worse, and then you wake up and feel even worse. But I mean, everybody's different. Everybody handles their things differently. I have always tried to look for healthy ways to process my emotions. I've never been good at it, but I've always tried, journaling, drawing, writing, all kinds of things. I mean, many different ways to get over your problems, but, well, you're gonna have to. you're gonna have to find a way. You're gonna have to push through the pain. I mean, this applies to anything really, not just breakup pain, heartbreak, if you will, but anything. You got to find a way to push through it. You got to find a way to get over it. And it sucks to say that. It sucks to hear that. I hated, I still do, when people come and tell me it's like, just get over it. And it's like, oh, sure, let me just flip the switch in my brain that's causing me all this heartache and stress and pain, and I'll just get over it. No big deal. But you do. You do. You just have to get over it. And there's no easy way to do that. There's no simplified method to just forget all your problems. You just learn to grow with them. You learn to just accept them. You know, sometimes problems just don't go away. Sometimes that stress and that pain and that trauma is just going to be stuck with you. And that sucks to say, but it's true. It's uh it's a part of life. As sad as that is, it sucks that life has to be so sad. I wish, like, why can't life just be fucking happy? Why can't things just be easy? You know? Why do people have to be toxic? Why do people have to be evil, to put it simply? I wish we could all just get along and everybody on the planet could be happy and everybody could just hold hands and sing songs, but well, that ain't ever gonna happen. At least not in my lifetime. I'd love it to. I'd love to be an influence to that, but this is way off topic. I just I don't know. Been thinking about it lately. Been thinking about breakups and how much they are terrible and how much they're, well, not so terrible. And sometimes they're needed. Sometimes you really do just need to let go, move on, find somebody new. You should never, like, rebound. I personally, because again, you're just gonna hurt somebody else because you're searching for comfort in somebody after losing somebody. It's never a good mix. I've been a rebound before, and it hurts. You know, you catch feelings for somebody and then a few months the honeymoon wears off and you realize, like, oh, they're still not over their ex, but they're using me to distract them from their ex. And I guess in this day and age, I feel like things like that have been more normalized and people are a lot more open about it. You know, they might text you and be like, hey, I'm not trying to date you, but I need you to distract me from my ex. And like, if you're okay with that, then more power to you, but not me. I'm in it for love. You know, if I'm dating, when I've dated, I'm in it for love. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm a lover boy. If you're not planning to marry me, don't even look in my direction because I will be obsessed with you and I will love you forever. That's just who I am. It's just how I am. And not like I'm trying to not come off as a super toxic individual because I really don't think I am. I think I maybe have some not so healthy tendencies. This is, dude, not doing this today. We're not what are you even holding? Is that a fishing rod? Whatever. Get me out of here. Not doing it today. Not doing it today. I'm just gonna close the door, go to bed. Not doing it today. No thank you. Anyways, what was I saying? I know we've been all over the place in this video. Very varied topics, all related to heartbreak and toxic people and a little bit of everything. You know how it goes with these videos, but I just, to wrap things up here, because I've been talking for way too long now, I just want to say, don't be afraid of heartbreak. I know it hurts. I know it's scary, and especially if you've already been through it or going through it, I know how hard it is. I know how painful it can be, whether it was mutual, not mutual. You know, there's all kinds of things that go into it, all kinds of reasons for it. You can't avoid it. I wouldn't say it's inevitable because the goal of dating is to not break up, but don't be afraid of it. Don't be scared. If you're the one who has to do the breaking up, I know how hard that can be too. I just when it's needed, it's needed. When the time comes, Just gotta let it go. You gotta break it off, call it quits, whatever you wanna, whatever analogy you wanna use. But it will always be tough. At least I think it'll always be tough. I'm not gonna say I was gonna say if you're a bad person it's probably easier, but I don't want to be rude like that. So I just breakup's hard. It's good. It can be good, but it's hard and it hurts and it's sad and it sucks. And I know I'm trying to be positive. I'm really not doing a good job at it, but like I said, sometimes it's needed. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes you're just not meant to be. Sometimes you are just two incompatible pieces trying to fit together and it's just destined to fail. Sometimes things feel perfect and time goes on and things aren't so perfect anymore. You fall out of love, you just drift apart. Maybe you just are dealing with problems of your own that are drifting into your relationship and causing heartache and heartbreak. Like I said, there's probably a million different reasons I could come up with as to why people break up and whatnot, but that's not the point. The point's not to talk about why. I just want to, I guess, share my 2 cents and share some stories and let you know, like, don't be scared. Don't be scared of love. Don't be scared of getting your heart broken. Don't be scared of breaking hearts, I guess. I mean, you shouldn't. You shouldn't break anybody's heart. You should love everybody equal. Well, not I, I can't just say one straight sentence because I contradict myself and I'm like, oh no, don't say that, don't say that. But no, love everybody. You can't love everybody equally because obviously you're gonna love your partner more than you're gonna love your friends, and it's just different kinds of love. But the point being is, don't be afraid of love. Don't be afraid of heartbreak. Don't be afraid of the pain. Don't let it destroy you like it has to me many times in the past. It will get better with time. I know it's cliche and annoying to hear more than likely, but it's true. Time will heal. Things will get better. Life will go on. It might not be perfect. It might not be the best. It might be real hard to get through and get over, but you will. You will live. You will survive. There will be another day, and the sun will always be shining. There's plenty of people out there. You'll find your person one day or another. Somebody's out there looking for you the way you're looking for them. You might not even realize it, but you'll find them in time. So don't be scared to move on. Don't be scared to call it quits. Don't feel pressured to make it work because you've dealt with toxic love in the past or you grew up around broken homes or whatever. Don't feel pressured that you have to be perfect or that you have to make your relationship perfect or you have to put up with it. Don't put up with anything that you don't deserve. That goes for everybody, anybody. Only put up with what you deserve and what you desire. Don't deal with anybody's BS. Don't deal with anybody's toxicity. You know, it's too much life to live to spend your time hurting from somebody that's supposed to love you. So, as I keep repeating, just don't be afraid. Love everybody. Love anybody. Don't go around like sleeping with everybody. Like when I say love everybody, I don't mean like go be a hoe. I mean if you want to be, go ahead. I got no problem with that. I got plenty of friends that are hoes, but like don't don't break hearts just because, you know, just be a good person. I guess if I had to wrap this up with anything, just be a good person. Love everybody. I know I keep repeating myself, but anyways, I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. I got plenty of other videos to watch if this is your first one, and you should subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that normal YouTuber stuff, whatever. I don't know. I'm just here making videos, talking about stuff. So, like I said, hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Love you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you.